Good evening, everybody. We've started the stream because we've noticed that we actually hopefully have some real viewers out there. We love you, whoever you are. And welcome to our stream of the game Lichcraft. This is the smallest RPG we've done so far. We're doing it partially for Pride Month. I have a little statement that I'm going to read from the author themselves before we get going. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. It should be a fun, if slightly heartbreaking time. I'm gonna put it that way. Okay. I know you guys kind of know all the crew, but to start with, I'm Cody. I'm gonna be running the game. We'll go around. So Nick, you're up.
I'm Nick. We'll do character introductions, I think, when we get started playing.
Chris.
I'm Chris, and I'm the dude with the ridiculously sized water bottle.
You don't whip that out at every opportunity, man. But I appreciate the enthusiasm. Zoe.
I'm Zoe, and I'm the one drinking coffee late at night.
Yeah, aren't we all? Mike.
And I'm Mike. I don't have anything else. That's it.
Cool.
Hello.
And cans look perfectly normal in his hands.
Of course.
That's right.
He's a perfectly normal guy.
This is perfectly normal sized.
Yep. Not a giant at all.
Okay. So, before I read the notes on the piece from the author, I'm actually going to read the introduction from the game, just to give everybody an understanding of where we're headed. So, the year is 2069. The setting is Great Britain. The Tories have been in power since 2010. Elections have long been abandoned since highly successful gerrymandering rendered them pointless. Due to the National Health Service cuts, trans healthcare has become increasingly hard to access. The waiting list for a first appointment at a gender identity clinic is now 300 years. They don't want to outright refuse you. That would imply that the health service is overcapacity or underfunded. Instead, they will simply add you to the end of the list and wait for you to die. But they are fools, for you have learned the secrets of immortality, and you will get to the end of that waiting list, even if it means waiting another millennium. So, this is Lichcraft. It is a game about a number of trans individuals deciding to take up the mantle of lichdom in order to, as the introduction says, survive long enough to get to that first appointment. Why? Because public healthcare sucks. Only in that degree, really. For the most part, it's actually pretty good. I don't want that statement being taken out of context. But I know what you're thinking. I don't want to watch a bunch of mostly hetero white straight dudes playing a game about trans people. So on that, we're going to read a small note on the setting and content from the author. The author of this game is a trans person who has spent many years on an NHS waiting list waiting for healthcare. No trans experience is the same. For some, the relatively lighthearted tone of this game may not work for you, and that's fine. If this experience comes too close to home, feel free to take a break or put it down. There's no shame in quitting. The experience of having to struggle for vital healthcare is also not just a trans experience. It is also the experience of many disabled people, those trying to access mental health care, and unfortunately, many working class people in countries where healthcare costs money. All healthcare should be fully funded, free at the point of access, and accessible easily and quickly. The fact that it isn't is one of many injustices in the world. Although in this game you play a trans character, you do not have to be trans to identify with this experience, and you do not have to be trans to play this game. In fact, this game can be played in any setting. It doesn't have to be semi-dystopian 39 years in the future Britain. And it doesn't even have to be about waiting for healthcare. You could use this game to play characters who are waiting for anything, anywhere, at any point in time. However, there is something innately fun about trans people becoming liches and fighting power in a setting that's just close enough to today to be meaningful, while being far enough away that it can also be fun. So try it out the way it was intended. You won't be disappointed. And that's exactly what we're going to do. See, we've lost somebody already. Oh well, we'll keep going. So, with the introduction out of the way, let's talk about your characters. We'll do a bit of the round table. Just for the audience's perspective, the only requirements for their characters were they have to be trans and they have to be on a waiting list. So we'll do the round table the opposite way this time. So, Mike, you're up first.
So my character's name is Joe. They are a 22-year-old barista, and they love to garden in their spare time, which allows them to grow the plants that they use for their magical rituals.
Nice.
They
Zoe?
use the pronouns they and them.
Okay.
My name is Saf, and I am a woman who likes gardening, and I'm an eco-socialist and also a barista.
Nice. Chris?
All right. I'm Sam. I'll also go by they and them. My politics are I'm an anarchist that is also into gardening and is a cashier. And since it makes sense, my magical source is nature.
Yeah, we have a very druid group so far, which is kind of cool.
Mhm.
Nick?
I'm gonna fit right in. I'm gonna be playing T, who is a man, he, him, 33 years old, has been on a waiting list for 2 years, and recently switched from mostly drinking soda to drinking water, and realized that the natural power of water is the source of his power. He's also an anarchist, likes to cook, works as a cashier.
Great.
Hydration is important, as I
Indeed.
You
drink
as you
soda.
drink, yeah. God. Okay, now, so the basic structure of this game is, this is more for y'all out there, but I don't know if any of you on the group have read the game either. But essentially, there are 3 things that are required to do the lich ritual, if you will. It requires a spell, components to the spell, and the location for the ritual itself. And we will play it out in 3 scenes where you guys essentially are acquiring each of those different things. I'll try and give everybody an opportunity to do something in each of the scenes, unless we start to feel like it's dragging a little bit too much, and then we'll kind of figure it out on the fly. But the goal is for everybody to try and get a moment in each of the scenes to contribute to somehow helping to get the thing. There will be combat, there will be other checks, and we don't know what the things are until we roll for them in a bit. So
Woo.
I don't even know what the heck's going to go on.
Mystery things.
We got to figure it out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to establish a bit more of a dystopian setting. So I'm going to roll a d6. I got a 3. So in our setting, unnamed mega corporation has taken over all public services. Fire and ambulance services are all now included in a Prime subscription. So that is something we potentially will have to contend with. We'll see how that comes up.
Perfect.
Well, a couple of us work as cashiers.
So
Yeah.
yes. Okay. So, do we want to establish how you guys kind of all know each other, or are we just going to kind of, I don't know, move forward with it?
I mean, it sounded to me like we're all part of the same gardening club.
Ooh.
Yeah. If not, A couple of us may work at the same cafe as baristas.
Mm.
I
We're
forgot,
just into anarchy.
are you all anarchists?
I am.
I am for
I
sure.
am as well.
I think we are.
That's great. So you all have a wonderful distaste for governmental structure at all.
I was about to say we might all be part of an anarchist group, but then I
Yep.
realized that that probably doesn't add up.
Well,
Can't have
apparently
anarchy with a group.
Anarchy in the UK. That's what matters right now.
Love it.
Okay, so you all are part of a gardening club, and Mike, sorry, what was your character's name again?
Joe.
Joe comes to you on the first night, or whatever night this is, and says, "Guys, guess what? Sorry, not guys. Y'all, guess what? I figured out where the spell is. The spell is a long lost Sappho poem. Sorry, no, I lied. The spell is in the notes of an absent-minded academic, hidden in an ancient temple, somewhere outside of town.
Are you sure we're not playing Delta Green?
100% sure.
Okay, so notebook of in a temple
Outside of town.
Okay. outside
Yes.
of town.
That's what I found out.
Do you know a
Just on the
direction?
What temple?
usual forum boards.
Yes, he knows where the temple is.
Perfect. Is it far? Can we
No.
walk there?
No, come on. If it's an ancient temple, it's got to be far enough. Like, you're not gonna like walk down the street and be like, "Oh, look, it's this temple."
We
You just
told
take a
Holland
right at the
Uber.
sandwich shop, turn a left at the gas station,
It's your-
and there it is, right in front of you.
It's your local ancient temple.
It's
Yeah,
a
it
tourist
says
trap is
ancient
what it
temple
is.
on the front.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect. Game's done. Found it.
It's like Westminster, whatever town we're in.
Actually, oh god, now that we say that, I do have a great idea for that. So
It's right
actually,
next to
yes,
Ray's Pizza.
We're gonna say that. No, it's 2060. Ray's Pizza's, they've gone
Out of
completely
business?
on. No, they've gone completely online now. You order it directly from your brain
Brain?
tech. Their physical locations just don't need to exist anymore. No, so the temple actually is relatively close. It's within walking distance. You walk past it fairly regularly, I guess, but have never thought much of it because it's a fairly old-seeming, modern-style building that's just been kind of left to grow over. So it's covered in thick roots, ivy, really thick kind of wildflowers, and grass out in front of it.
Seems beautiful.
I mean, I didn't say it
Yeah.
was a bad temple.
Sounds like
Maybe
a
we
great
should
place for
get
a
some
gardening
cuttings.
club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get some cuttings off of these plants while we're there.
I'll bring my gardening tools.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, speaking of that, then, first thing is you walk up and you try and open the glass doors at the front, but you realize that the ivy has grown for so long and it's so thick that it's effectively worked its way through the handles, and kind of crisscrossed all around, to make it impossible, kind of on its face right now, to just pull the doors open.
Good thing we brought our gardening tools.
Is ready to do some pruning.
I don't know. I prefer to just let things grow wild.
We could take a look around, see if there's another way in. If we take a wander around the building, are there any like open windows or cracks in the walls? Maybe a ladder?
So you walk around. There is a back door, but it's locked, and it seems the handle and the lock are incredibly rusted over. As you kind of walk around the perimeter of the building, you notice that really the only windows are basically right kind of at the roof. It's a single story building, but it's only got kind of that whole loop of windows, basically right at kind of 10, 12 feet off the ground.
Looks like we may have to trim those vines.
Okay. Who wants to go at it?
I think two of us brought gardening tools. We want to tag team it?
Yeah, I mean, I can help.
You're like,
Okay,
that prompt sounds like something bad's gonna happen.
Only one of you gets to roll.
Do you think you have luckier dice than me?
I could try.
Yeah, roll it up.
Okay,
All right.
what do you think is your appropriate stat to use? So you have, for those of you listening, there are 3 stats in the game. They are strength, sense, and spells. Each of them for each of our characters is a 1, a 2, or a 3, based on their choice.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe strength would be best for this, but I got a strength of 1 at the moment, so
You could try and convince me to use something else.
Well, you can
Right.
get bonus if it aligns with your hobby, your politics, your job.
We're
and all that stuff.
gardeners.
ooh,
Yeah, so you'd get a
true.
bonus for gardening. I don't
True.
think-
Garden club bonus.
Garden club bonus.
So that's one
The
extra
benefits
die.
of garden club. All right. Well, I mean, magical source is nature, and although
That helps. That could add to it.
okay,
So you get 2 die.
so maybe I could. So I got 2 die.
Plus your one strength, right?
Well,
Yeah,
if
so-
he's using strength, or if he wants to use something else, if he's going to try and convince me otherwise.
You know what? Since my magical source is nature, I'm gonna switch it to spell instead, which is a 2.
Okay.
So I guess
How are you using spells to try and cut through the vines, though?
What if you use your gardening senses?
my my
'Cause you're
gardening
such
senses are
an-
tingling.
You know, a good gardener.
Lay-
You've
lay
got a
low,
sense
like
for
you
where
said.
to cut.
I just have to get a feel of the vines, be like, yes, of course. This is the
You
this is
close
the
your
perfect
eyes and start
stuff."
sniffing.
Well, it's like
You-
it's like trimming asparagus, right? You don't just go and cut the asparagus with a knife. You feel it, and it snaps where it
Yeah.
feels right.
Yeah. Just gotta
Yeah.
give it a tap. It's like, this is a
Like
weak point.
asparagus.
It's like
Like
asparagus. My hobby is cooking, so I gotta lean on
braided,
that.
just braided asparagus as the vines just everywhere.
It turns out it's asparagus that's overgrown. I feel like he's convinced, you know? He looks
Ah.
convinced.
All right. So what? So you're doing spells,
Spells, yeah.
and you get 2 extra dice. So you got to
2 extra
roll. So you're gonna roll that number of d6s and tell me what you get.
Okay. So, yeah, 2 of those, and then okay.
Well, sorry. Tell me your highest of the dice you roll.
The highest of the okay, got it. And, oh, okay. So I have the highest ones I got are 2 5s.
Okay. So you definitely do cut through the so you cut through the vine, but in doing so you end up breaking through the glass on the door, And as a result, you end up hurting yourself in the process. So you got to choose. You're going to lose 1 health, or you remove a point from whichever stat you. Sorry. You either lose a health or you lose a point in spells.
Ooh.
Tough
Since
choice.
But the door is open now.
you know what? Since I got more of it, I'm gonna take away a point from health here. So bring me down to 4.
No, everybody's supposed to be at 3 health to start. That was one of the.
Or sorry. Oh crap. Oop.
One of my
Because there's
notes.
more. Because there's more of us.
Yep.
All right.
Sorry. It's all good.
Never mind. 2 health. All right.
Okay. The door is opened.
And what do we see?
The first thing that hits you when the door opens is kind of like a massive waft of humidity that exits out from the door. It's like when you go to the zoo and you walk in on one of those tropical pavilions. There is a lot of plant growth in here. So you're getting this kind of the sun is shining down through the windows kind of at the top of the space, and it's falling onto rows and rows of stacks of books. In kind of the center and in other kind of various areas, though, you note that some of the stacks have been kind of pushed over. Water has gotten in at some point, and there actually is kind of little bits of plant growth that seem to be kind of springing up from the floor. This weird carpet that's kind of like a lush brownish red color. I mean, who knows where the dirt or the seeds came from, but for some reason, stuff's growing inside this place.
I think I'm gonna try and buy this place when we're done.
It's a good idea. I think it'll be a good investment for your plants.
Do we know the name of the author of this? The absent-minded professor.
Mm-hmm.
This Jerry Lewis character.
Not the deepest of cuts.
I mean, it was an absent-minded academic. I never said he was a professor. You think they'd let Jerry Lewis in front of kids?
Probably not.
Yeah, I think you definitely have his name. You don't have a first name. All you have is a last name, which is Alhazred.
Alhazred?
Alhazred, yes.
Alhazred.
You know that the book you're looking for. So if it's academic notes, it's obviously not going to be in like a fiction section or something like that. So it's not going to potentially be as simple as just finding the name of the author. Just letting you know. Right.
I would like to go outside and take some clippings of the vine, and I want to arrange them in the letters Alhazred, and I would like to perform a divination spell to try and find these notes.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
So I'm assuming
Already
that's a
pulling out
spell. I'm
magic.
using my gardening and my ritual.
Yep.
Perfect.
All right, that is 3 5s.
But no 6s, eh?
No 6s.
Okay. So you start the ritual. And you feel the connection you have to the vines start to kind of worm its way out and make contact with the other plant growth throughout the building. And before you realize what you're doing, you've taken your knife and slit your hand in order to provide your own blood to help make the divination spell that much more powerful. Because for whatever reason, the plant growth that's kind of around the room is kind of, oh, like maybe I know where it is, but it's difficult. I can't always remember. It's Tuesday. I haven't had my coffee yet. Who the hell knows?
And
So your
everyone
blood
knows
really, yeah,
plants are bloodthirsty, so you just
exactly.
gotta give them what they want.
The blood just really helps, push the severity of what you're trying to look for. So you are
How
going
they know
to
you're serious about it?
you're going to lose a health, or you're going to lose a point in spells. I assumed you used.
That was what I used. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. That's going to cost me a health.
But you do have the location. So to further kind of describe more of this room, there's all of these stacks, as I mentioned, and kind of towards the back there is a slight raised section with some more shelves, and that is actually where the divination kind of sense is pulling you towards.
All right. We'll head back that way then.
Okay. You climb the stairs up to the top section, and suddenly you start hearing the stacks vibrate. And out of nowhere, a couple of books fly off the shelf, and turn to you, showing their spines, and you see the pages like rip apart to form mangy looking teeth.
Oh, sounds like evil books. We've upset the books.
Soggy paper has no structure. So I would like to.
What?
Soggy paper has no structure. If I soak these books, they can't bite me anymore. So I'm going to. I'd like to try to use my newfound water magic, point finger guns at the books, and squirt water at them. So I think, this doesn't really align with my politics, and I'm unfortunately not a gardener. But this does align with my natural magic source, so
Okay.
I'd like to ask for the extra die there.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Oh no! I had 2 dice, and I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Ooh.
So you hold out your finger guns and you go pew pew, and all you get is a little a little spritz that kind of comes out.
It'd be real useful for gardening.
And all of the books immediately turn to you as though they're aware of the attempt on their life, and they fly and start battering you before getting distracted and flying off. So I'm sorry, Nick, but you lose a point of that stat and you lose a point of health. You also have to write a harsh lesson you've learned.
Don't use finger water guns.
You can invoke that lesson later on to gain an additional die.
What'd you learn from this?
Maybe that my magic shouldn't be flashy.
It's a good lesson,
Yeah, that sounds like a useful lesson. What about beware flying books?
I mean,
I was already aware of them.
yeah.
Now I'm acutely aware of them. Oh, but I mean, I saw Joe's very, subdued, controlled spell casting worked. Besides the,
Yeah.
stabbing themselves in the hand.
Yeah.
And then I tried to, do something a little fancy, and
Something with pizzazz.
yeah, backfired. So I'm gonna say that's my hard lesson.
That's fair. Okay. The divination though is still pulling Joe towards the place where you find you find it on the stack. It is a blood red leather bound book, um, written with kind of some weird esoteric symbols on the front. And you do see the name in the bottom, written in English for some reason, with a very Arabic name, of Al-Hazred.
I think this is it. I think I found it.
Okay.
So I will pick it up, I guess.
You grab it and try and take it off the shelf, and it doesn't move.
Oh, stubborn
You
book.
hear a growling from within the shelf.
I would like to walk up to the book and be like, excuse me, book, would you please come with us? We have an important task to complete, and it would be very helpful if you would be kind enough to jump down off the shelf and come along with us. Just for a little bit, and then we'll bring you back when we're done.
Okay.
And then I try and
you gotta
pick up
roll
the-
versus it.
God. Oh God, what do I? Guess.
Sense, I think, is for convincing if you're trying to convince.
Yeah, I think sense makes the most sense here.
But
I mean, you're a barista. You're usually serving coffee to people. I
yeah,
could
I have
imagine
customer service skills.
you're used to dealing with
Oh.
growling and things like that.
okay, okay,
Dealing with people who haven't had their coffee yet.
okay.
And I'm a gardener, so I got lots of patience.
Just roll your damn dice.
I got 3 5s.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Nobody's rolling any 6s. I'm surprised.
No.
But, okay.
Come on, little book. Be my friend.
So the thing is that it wasn't the book itself that was growling. As you look into the shelf, you realize that it's another book that has latched on to the end of this book and
It's
was
being
holding
attacked.
it. But in your haste of not noticing that, the other book assumed you were talking to it, and so assumes that it's going on an adventure with you. And as it leaps into your arms, you feel a sense of wrongness kind of impinge onto your personality, as kind of whatever magic this book had that was keeping it alive saps out of it into you, and it falls to the floor discarded. So you again get to choose. You either lose a point of health or you lose a point of sense.
Zoe was, I think, where all of us were, which was, we have a pet book.
Oh my gosh. The little book came and went so fast. My heart. I'm gonna take a point of health for that heartbreak. Oh my god. I'm gonna take the little dead book with me though.
Just doing book CPR.
I scoop up the little book. What's the title on the book?
Intro to Linear Algebra.
Take the little book with me.
I hope I was gonna say I hoped Cody would pick something really evil.
Just trying to get this book to live. Somebody get me a calculator, quick.
Calculator for linear algebra? Bro, give me some graph paper.
that yeah, that would be.
There's probably graph paper at the back of the book, right?
You think they would supply that to you? Ah!
Okay. I'm just gonna sadly step off to the side with my little intro to linear algebra book. Flip through the pages.
Okay, but you have found the book.
We found it. Do we get out?
Someone else might have to pick it up now because I'm pretty occupied with this sad little book that died.
All right, then I will pick up the book and leave.
Okay. Yeah, no, you don't run into any issues on your way out. You kind of just, I guess, walk through the stacks as kind of the sunlight filters down onto the the various stacks around you and the different kind of little amounts of growth in there. I should also mention the place really smells of musty books, right?
My favorite smell.
Something I should have put out there before to really complete the whole thing. But yeah, you get out without issue.
Now we just need to figure out where to go.
Well, we need.
You're not going to read it
Third
first.
thing
You're not going to look for the.
It might say in the book where we.
Maybe it'll tell me in the book. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Let's read the book. Is that what
I
you
will
do with
read my
books?
intro to linear algebra book. Well,
No,
they read that
you
book.
try and revive them. You shoot finger guns at them.
Well, I mean,
You love
Zoe,
and care them.
your book starts with welcome to the most comprehensive way to solve systems of equations. This is a matrix. It is used to simplify sets of equations with multiple variables.
Of course.
This is an identity matrix, which is used as your solution to the system of equations. I'm going to stop because that's all I remember from linear algebra. Mike, your book is much more interesting because
linear algebra is pretty interesting.
90% of it
Your book's not dead though.
is making zero sense to you, but for some reason you're getting this weird sense, this weird pressure kind of on your sanity, that you feel like it'd be a really bad thing if you did understand most of it. But you do find the ritual in there, and you can understand that pretty simply. It's a pretty basic thing. It involves getting some components to actually conduct the ritual. You also need a physical object. Everybody needs a physical object, which will house their soul, which will be known as their phylactery. And you need to conduct the ritual in a specifically powerful place in order to kind of amplify the magic that you're going to use, because it's going to require a massive amount of energy to actually do this properly. And then in the process you have to actually die so that your soul can separate from your body. It can go into your phylactery, and then you can wake back up as a dead thing. So that's cool.
And I will pass that info along to everyone else. We just need to go and find our own objects to be used as a phylactery.
I think I found my object.
Okay, now it does mention that the components that you need are grave dirt, which makes sense because as you guys will become dead, the dirt associated with an already deceased individual will help provide the magical properties that are needed. And you're pretty sure that you know of some close by, which is hidden in a dangerous swamp. Because, sure, there's a swamp nearby. Why not?
Next,
Yeah.
Why is the
close by to
cemetery in
this
the
temple.
swamp?
Well, temples traditionally have graveyards around them, right?
And this one's ancient.
mean-
Maybe that graveyard has,
So
I mean,
It's a
everything
pretty
else here is
urban
waterlogged.
area for a temple, I think. So
all right, we better find a way to get to this swamp that's nearby.
okay.
Anyone have Uber? A police subscription?
Uber was bought out about 20 years ago. It was amalgamated into the Prime network. It's now known as Amazon's self-delivery.
You have
You
to
need a
rate
Prime
how you were
Premium
like
account.
taken away.
Is the swamp far from us?
It's not. You figure it would take a bit to like walk over there. But it's not terribly far. You could, enjoy the nice weather today and just
Hey, Joe, does this book indicate a like amount of grave dirt we need? Like how many cups, gallons, whatever? Like
Oh yes,
That's
it's
a
a
good
recipe
question.
of it's a recipe of 1 gallon per lich. Um,
so we're gonna need 3 gallons. So we should probably go to the store and grab some gallon buckets, and we'll need a shovel instead of our little gardening trowels.
I think I've got an emergency skateboard stash somewhere around here. We can.
Oh,
I mean, you never know when you'll have to dodge the fuzz. So
yeah.
Of course.
I guess
Got them hidden in
also-
bushes
I know,
all
we'll
over
deal
the
with that.
town.
we're anarchists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you get to the swamp.
With our stuff.
It's with your stuff. It's getting on the afternoon. There's a lot of kind of haze and like mist kind of coming off the swamp, which is making the sunlight really kind of brighten, but also make visibility incredibly difficult through the area. And so yeah, you're at a swamp. It looks dangerous enough.
Are there any trails, like evident trails leading into this swamp? Like
Sure.
hiking trails?
Yes, there is one. And it says there's a gate blocking it, and it has a little screen off on the side that says please scan your Prime membership in order to access the swamp.
Has anyone got a Prime membership?
I mean, I
I'll
figure as an
pretend.
anarchist, probably.
Is it like a hard stop? And we can't
Yes.
get in, or like, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say too at this point. I don't know why you didn't notice it before, but you're noticing a very large fence all the way around the swamp.
Oh, I
How
didn't see
large?
this here.
Can we just should we just set up like
It's
a
large and it's got a lot of
temporary Prime account?
signs on it that's saying it's electrified.
Do we just like
Mhm.
somebody whip out their phone,
Yeah.
we set up a emergency Prime account to get in, or do we just like try and
Can we
See
just
what
jump
happens.
the turnstile?
What if
Is it a turnstile?
It's not a turnstile.
Feels like a British solution.
What if we do some magic together, make the plants around, open the fence up for us?
I like that idea.
Go for it.
I'm going to use my
Okay.
magic to make the plants open the fence up.
Okay.
And I'm a gardener, so and this seems like anarchy to me.
Yeah, I mean,
I
we
don't know what
probably
you think anarchy is, but
we
Tearing down the fence?
Jeffrey Bezos isn't getting my money today.
actually it's his grandson, Jeffrey Bezos the third, by now running Amazon.
No, Bezos is getting this money.
do they look the same? Because we know that lichdom is a real thing here.
I got 2 5s.
Okay. Yeah, the plants grow up and effectively kind of worm their way through
Yes, plants.
the door and crush like the bottom corner, and then as soon as you see that happen, and before it kind of wrenches it fully open, you hear an alarm start blaring, and
Oh,
loudspeakers just going,
No,
danger,
no.
danger, damage to Amazon property. The newest or your closest available team member will be there for support.
Oh,
And it just keeps blaring.
Is the hole that it made
Should we
big enough
cheese
for
it?
us to get
Oh
through?
yeah, no, it ripped the door open.
Oh no. We should go, guys. Oh no.
You also lose a point of health or a point of stat.
Yay.
Maybe we should have created a
You can also-
temporary Amazon.
You can also take sacrifice. Oh no, is that only if you? That's only if you run out. Sorry.
Yep.
Oh no, you can regain. It's just if you're low.
Oh.
You can choose to regain stats by sacrificing something that is important to your character.
Yes.
No,
Oh.
I can't sacrifice this algebra book. Mm-mm.
What are you guys doing? You're standing
Running.
there.
I'm
There's
running
more
in.
players
Running.
into the.
Into the swamp.
Yep.
We need that grave dirt.
Okay. You start moving your way through the mistiness of the swamp, and what's the plan? It all looks like swamp.
I'm gonna look for like what I imagine might be signs of an old graveyard. So I'm looking for like more geometric rocks that might indicate a tombstone, or maybe regularly spaced sunken areas in
Okay.
I'm like, paths. I mean, if there were I don't think this is, like a if this was a graveyard, there would be a layout to it, so there'd be other paths and things like that. So I'm gonna treat it as an intellectual exercise. So I'd like it to be a sense thing, but I don't think I can really add any of my personality to it. So
Then you're gonna have to roll sense, as is.
that's what I'm doing. 5, 5, 6.
Ooh, 6.
Ooh.
Okay.
First
Well,
six.
you've pretty yeah, that was the first 6. You've pretty well described how you go about getting through it. So you're kind of looking and observing, and you are finding it kind of seems to progress. So as you start kind of entering a bit bigger of a clearing, you see what look to be some like groupings of rocks in like a cairn, but most of them are kind of partially underwater. It's not easy to get at, and as you kind of keep moving into the clearing, you're starting to see bigger, more kind of more clearly stated tomb markings, which seem to be associated with people. There are names, there are dates written on them. Some of them are fairly old, maybe dating to like the 17th century, and then some are really recent for some reason. But as you walk into the clearing, you feel the ground start to shake. And suddenly a hand shoots up from the ground, and you see a person start to emerge from the ground. And the first thing you hear them say is, I do not use crack cocaine, nor am I an addict of crack cocaine. As for video, I cannot comment on a video that I have never seen or does not exist. I've run a fantastic city. I don't want to toot my own horn here, but I'm the best mayor the city has ever had. And the decomposed but still somehow very large form of a specifically dead Toronto mayor pulls himself out of the ground and shambles towards the group of you.
Who's got the shovel?
I've got an
Anyone have any
algebra book.
crack cocaine.
I mean, I'll take a whack at him with the shovel. I mean, I think I could maybe handle it.
What are you gonna roll?
Okay. I think I'm gonna try strength, but I'm also gonna consider again being an anarchist, so screw the system and screw dead politicians.
Hey,
Oh, like
Okay.
that.
Politician.
And I guess as a cashier, I dealt with troublesome customers, so maybe I could.
No, I'm not giving you that one.
No.
What did you do to the customers?
All right,
oh,
that's fair.
he's dealt with them.
Regularly upside the head with a shovel.
All right, that's fair. All right, so I guess that'll be strength of 1, and then I guess that's 2 dice at that point with that.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Here we go with shovel whack. Well, my highest one's a 4.
Okay. You do. So you get him upside the head, and his head comes off. The body's still kind of shambling though. And the head kind of rolls away, but then as it rolls away, it rolls back around and bites you on the ankle. And you take either a point of health or a point to your strength stat.
I only got 1
And
strength.
Even through your ankle, you still hear him going like, "Okay, maybe I've used crack cocaine before, but I mean, who hasn't? Maybe in a drunken stupor."
I mean, at least he's not rambling on about Bieber, so I guess.
But he's still there. The zombie is still a present danger to the group.
All right, I only got the 1 strength, so I guess I'm going down to 1 point of health.
Well,
you can go down to 0 strength if you want, just so you know, mechanically, if you want to.
Okay.
It means that you roll 2 dice and take the lowest instead of.
Okay. All right. Maybe just so at least I could still maintain a. Yeah, I'll just go with that instead.
You
Sorry,
didn't take it on
Mike.
your strength? Okay.
Yep.
We don't have any crack for you, but I can offer you a lovely coffee, a free coffee at my coffee shop if you just come back to the town. Everyone loves free coffee.
Okay. What are you ready to roll?
So I'm gonna try to do sense here.
Okay.
With my barista bonus.
My barista bonus. Do it up.
I love the barista bonus.
That's a 6.
Hey.
Yeah, okay, perfect. He just you pull a card out of your wallet and just hand it to him, and you just hear the zombie kind of grumble, go like, "Oh, yeah, okay," and the body just like walks off with the head slowly rolling behind it, back the way you came from.
Well, this
Those
seems like a great plan.
Amazon repair crew are in for a surprise.
Well, you get a discounted Prime membership if you're a zombie, because the kick is that you're gonna you're buying it a second time basically. So to them it's a free customer. So they give you a discounted rate as a result, right? Moving on. Okay.
So let's dig up some of this dirt that just got
Yeah.
exited.
We're gonna
from.
need what, 4 gallons for the 4 of us? Maybe a little extra just in case.
At least we know we're not going to dig up a body if we dig here.
Yeah. Exactly. Unless there was someone else buried here as well. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully, I don't get another ankle. Hopefully, I don't get another ankle biter.
I will say the dirt is wet and it is heavy. And so it takes a bit, but you get all of it together and you're able to head back towards the entrance. But you do see 2 Amazon team members there trying to fix up the gate.
Oh gosh, we're not supposed to be here. We can't walk by them.
They don't know that. We might not be the ones who busted it.
Could have been anyone.
Yeah, but
Unless somebody wants to stop me, I'm going to try and talk my way out of this one.
I'm not gonna stop you.
You go ahead with that.
I'll kind of walk up and, wow, what happened here? Can I? We're done our hike. Can I? Can we go?
I mean, sure, if you can kind of tap off your Amazon card on the way out.
Are you
No
sure it's not
cards?
gonna?
It's not just on your phone?
Are you sure it's not gonna fry my card? I mean, it's an electric fence. It looks like all the wiring's frayed. Is that really necessary? Can I just tap the next station down the road?
Okay,
what are you
gonna roll? What are you gonna roll?
So I think they say that charisma is a sense thing. I mean, I don't think I can really justify. Actually, you know what? I'm a cashier. I'm also in customer service. I could appeal to these guys, making their life easier.
Okay, but this is more difficult. I'm taking 1 die away for this.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
525.
Okay. So they kind of look at you and they're just kind of like, yeah, you know what? We don't get paid enough to deal with this. Just tap off at the next marker. Shit, I can't think of a good consequence for this. I feel like they say that, and as you walk past, they they somehow scan your RF and are able to get access to your profile, and they give you a 0-star rating on Amazon self delivery.
I'm taking the sense penalty, so I could argue that I'm less effective because I feel like somebody's gonna if this is gonna catch up to me, somebody's
Yep.
watching me now.
Yep.
Keeping tabs on you now.
You're in the system.
And they didn't question the fact that I carried a gallon of dirt out from my eye.
Oh yeah, I forgot we're all getting gallon bucket of
That's
dirt.
just my water bottle.
I mean, hey, we're all
Oh,
kind of
man.
hippies, so maybe it's special.
You're right. You're right.
You ever had kombucha?
Okay.
Swamp
So you-
dirt's great for the garden.
You've got the dirt
And
now.
for the gut.
And reading the book again, you realize that the ritual needs to take place on top of an Aztec style pyramid. But this is perfect. The only place that that's close by with an Aztec style pyramid is the Glastonbury Festival that's currently going on right at this point in time in the game. So, can't just kind of waltz right in there.
Cool.
Because it's that one time of the year where, for the rest of the year it just sits empty and useless. But for this one weekend, they wire it all up, and they got a stage that rolls out on the in the front, and they got all the lighting coming out from the up like off and onto the front of it. So like,
Oh gosh, what are we gonna do? We gotta do a
Could
ritual
we-
there.
Wait till next week?
What if our
Do you
ritual
want
is
me
a
to
performance?
wait another week?
I'm
I mean,
waiting for an
waited this
important-
long, might as well wait a little bit longer.
I'm impatient. What if our ritual was like a performance at the festival?
Ooh.
We just get on stage and do the ritual with some some kind of music playing in the
I
background.
feel like, yeah, if we go in there with enough confidence, I feel like they'd believe that we were an act,
Sure. Yep.
Joe's
sounds good to
not
me.
buying it. I might have to roll on Joe to
Yeah, get the audience hyped up.
so we're gonna try and sell that you guys are doing a performance, and that's gonna be the actual ritual.
Yeah, we're gonna do the ritual, but we're gonna bamboozle everyone into thinking it's just a performance.
So how are you getting into the festival, first of all, to then speak to whoever would be, potentially running the stage, to then get on the stage, to get up to the top of the pyramid, to then do the ritual?
I would like to take some leaves, place them on the ground, and I would like to do a little spell to turn the leaves into performer passes.
Oh, Jesus
the
Christ.
festival.
Okay.
And because I'm using leaves and I'm a gardener, I believe I should get some sort of bonus for that.
Yep.
And,
You take all the bonuses.
you just let it happen. 2 5s are my highest.
Walking down the road, just leaf. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Leaves into passes.
Okay. So obviously it works. You're gonna lose point of health or a point of spells, I think, because it's what you used.
Okay.
What was the? So it worked, but when you infused the the magic from the universe into the leaves and turned them into passes. You only made them passes for the Saturday, which is tomorrow, and it's for a very specific window. Like you can only get in for from 1 p.m. to 3:30 type
Mess this
thing.
up.
So it's not as it makes you a little bit more nervous because it's not as easy as like an all access pass. It's like a weirdly specific one. People might ask
nervous,
questions. But sure,
I mean,
you guys are getting into Glastonbury.
I hand out the performer passes. Put my lanyard on.
Okay, and you guys show up the next day, heading for the performer's entrance. And there is a big burly dude standing there with a clipboard. And he seems to be what you need to do to get past with your gallon buckets of dirt. Each.
Wait, guys, did you bring your things? Your object?
I mean,
Oh yeah,
I'm
does everybody
wearing
have
them
their
right now.
phylactery?
Yeah, I've got the
trowel.
Okay.
I brought my gardening boots I've worn for some time now. They really kind of seep in all the gardening and sweat.
Nice.
Perfect.
I've got a whisk.
A whisk. Love it.
So
Welcome.
Buddy looks at you guys and is just kind of like, all right, name.
Did our passes that I made have a name?
I mean, what's your group called? Like, did you guys?
Grave dirt.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Your pass says grave dirt.
Okay, go up. Grave dirt. Got my pass right here.
Wait. You're not on the list.
What do you mean we're not on the
Well,
list?
I have a list of today's acts, and looking at the time on your pass, that's
It's right now.
Specifically when the hologram of Damon Albarn performing the hologram of the gorillas is supposed to be on stage.
How did this mix-up happen? Because we flew a long way to get here, and we had to bring all our gear.
Well, look, ma'am, please don't get haughty with me.
But look, I'm just saying, we came a long way to do our act, perform, get our name out there, and we were sent the passes. We did everything we needed to do, and somehow we're not on the list anymore.
You know what? It's
This is pretty devastating.
It's probably another one of those intern mistakes. I mean, look, my buddy, his kid is interning for the festival this summer. Put a bunch of the sheets together. You can't blame Lyle. It's his first time dealing with this kind of stuff.
I get it. Is there a different slot we could fit into since we're here, we've got our stuff, we're ready to go?
Look, the problem more is around the timing of your pass, but if we get you in now, then we'll deal with figuring out when we can slot you in once you're kind of in there. Just make sure you go through. You want to talk to the stage manager. Her name is Melinda. She runs a very tight ship. If anybody would know how to resolve this issue, it'll be her.
Okay. Cool. And she could be by the stage, behind the stage?
Obviously, yes.
Yeah, I assume, but I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't,
Are you sure you've played concerts before?
Yeah, but sometimes they're not always there all the time. So I just wanted to make sure because I didn't want to, it's always bad when you assume that it's the same as every other place you've gone and it's not, and then they get upset. Anyway, I don't need to talk your ear off. Let's go, guys.
This is our first step pyramid.
Yeah.
Could say we're stepping up. Okay. Anyway, you get into the back. It's a very busy area. You do see a lady with a massive headset on and another big clipboard. She seems to be frantically like yelling into the microphone at people and kind of ushering people around. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We'll be right back.
All right. Problem solved.
We're back.
We're back. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, lady, just frantic, dealing with things.
She looks
Um,
scary. Does someone else want to talk to her?
Somebody bring her a coffee.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. You gonna
I
roll for
will
that?
Look around for a coffee stand.
It's got to be coffee backstage.
Is there like a
Get a roll for it.
craft
Is there-
services
is there-
table?
Is there a catering table?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rolling to look for coffee?
You could
Okay,
probably
so I'm
sniff that
guessing
out as a barista.
Sense, yeah. As with my barista training and my sense, I can find some coffee around
Sure.
here. That's a 6.
Oh, easy peasy. You just instinctually are like, yo, I've run catering events before at concerts. They're over there. You just beeline over, get a coffee. You almost like instinctually know she's gonna take it with milk because this is England, and they're weird with their coffee. And
I
yeah,
guess I
and
should have gotten tea.
you know on an instinctual level for some reason she likes coffee.
You can tell by the
Yeah.
way she's shaking while looking at the clipboard.
That's
So you get it. You bring it over for her.
Excuse me. We seem to be having some trouble. There's been some sort of a mix-up with our performance.
Look,
and
I
I'll
don't
just
have
handle the
time to
coffee.
deal with this. There's just too much going on. Actually, coffee. Okay, look, you have 30 seconds to explain to me your issue.
Well, we came over here to perform. We have our passes
Glug,
here, but the
glug,
guy at the
glug,
door said
glug,
that there's someone else on
glug,
that time. So there's some
glug,
miscommunication or problem,
glug,
and we need to get up on that stage
glug.
to perform.
She downs the whole coffee. And that looks.
That thing was so hot.
Steam coming out of her nose.
She's like, well, look, I feel bad for you. Obviously, you guys aren't, that big into this yet. So here's what I can do. There'll be a small 15-minute window after Damon and the double fake gorillas goes off stage, and before the what am I trying to go with? And before the Gallagher nieces and nephews get up on stage, you'll have about 15 minutes to play your set. But you're gonna have to be quick. Like, you gotta have all your stuff ready. Like, none of our roadies are gonna be able to get you your instruments or get anything prepped for you. So like, I hope you're ready.
Absolutely, thank you. Yes, we can get it all set up.
Cool. You're
Right.
on in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I assume we're gonna do more of like an interpretive dance than a musical act anyway.
I mean,
Don't worry, we have our grave dirt.
I still want to be the hype man and try to get the crowd excited as we get our ritual going. So I can finally use my sense in this.
Stuff there. Hey, have you heard of Grave Dirt? They're coming up next, guys.
They're coming out. Guys, a Gravedigger's coming out. I hear they're like,
Yeah.
they're
Came here
rad and
just for that
everything.
show.
Okay. So so Melinda then after you see the hologram of Damon Albarn and the gorillas walk off stage, and then immediately disappear when they walk off stage. Melinda looks at you and is just like, "All right, go, 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 go," and pushes the four of you guys onto stage. And as you look out amongst the crowd, you get a sinking sensation as you realize that, oh right, this was the wrong Glastonbury Festival.
No.
You
No.
assumed this would be happening during human Glastonbury, instead of zombie Glastonbury. Also on the Bring All Your Guns and Swords weekend.
Oh no. What have we done?
That weekend gets us every time.
Gosh darn it.
There's a familiar headless zombie in the front row.
Yeah. So they are trying to start to storm the stage. Since apparently it seemed like the future Gorillaz music was the only thing keeping them at bay before.
We gotta go, guys.
Are we just trying to speed run the ritual?
I'll try and hold back. I'll try and buy time.
Can we do the ritual here if it's the wrong festival?
Oh yeah, because it's still at a step pyramid.
Oh right.
Oh, right. Okay. I guess we should try to calm the crowd down as we do our ritual.
They're not security here?
You should try and talk them down.
Why would they throw security into the middle of a zombie mosh pit? Have you ever seen how that goes? Real people can't lose limbs like zombies can. They would rip them apart.
Hey.
The end of the festival is usually dealt with bulldozers.
Yeah.
It's they're standing on a field, like grass, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I would like to cast a spell to make the grass hold them where they are.
It's gonna be a big one.
Yeah.
How many dice would you get normally?
2 for a spell.
Plus
But
gardening.
with how many with
Plus-
bonuses? Plus
Well,
2?
plus gardening,
Yeah.
and then I don't think, because I'm a barista, there's no.
Okay. Well,
Coffee involved,
I'm gonna take 2 dice away because that's difficult to try and get
I get
everybody.
1. Okay. Come on. Don't betray me, little die. A 5.
Okay.
Ooh.
For a split second, I thought it was a 6, but it's not. It's a 5.
It works. You get the whole crowd grabbed, but remember how I mentioned it was gun and sword weekend? One of them fires, and it grazes your shoulder as you were knelt down doing your spell. So you're gonna lose a point of health or spells. Now, this is where it gets weird, because we're going to decide whether the ritual is going to have a big effect, or if you guys are going to fight one final antagonist before you can actually set off the ritual. I want us to decide as a group. So what's the play?
Well, I mean, we're facing a crowd of zombies being held. We're on a stage. We got 15 minutes, apparently. So
We're supposed to put on a. I'm gonna vote for big effect.
Pyrotechnics and all, whatever it is.
I
Okay.
don't know.
All right,
What's-
I'm in. Let's do it.
Go out with a bang.
Literally.
And then come back.
Okay. So you get your dirt. You've all got your phylacteries. The ritual involves like lying down and basically pouring the gallon of dirt over top of you while chanting, and then taking your knife and stabbing yourself right in the heart specifically, while somehow still also gripping your phylactery, and continuing to chant the words. As you guys are doing it collectively, Joe remembers this other part, kind of right at the end, like a little asterisk, basically saying that, warning. The more people who do this ritual at the same time in the same vicinity, causes the reaction to increase at an exponential rate, and all of you start feeling a very large amount of heat. The ground and the earth starts to shake,
Oh no.
and then suddenly the four of you are just engulfed in a massive fireball that extends like majorly in all directions.
Yeah. Anarchy
We
is
really
a UK.
gotta read the fine print on these things, guys.
Somebody plays a wicked guitar riff in the background while it's.
I really hope so.
Now, I will say, as this is going on, each of you it's like standing on the precipice. You've executed this massive shockwave, this massive fireball, and each of you feels a question, kind of, a question starts to solidify in your mind, and you feel it kind of holding you up before you're able to push through to actually succeed. So I am going to ask each of you a different question, and I need you to answer in order to potentially complete the ritual. So, first off, I'm going to go over to Nick's character, T. Are you proud of the way you have acted while preparing this ritual?
I think yes. I think while I think I've kind of, or T has kind of lived up to their his beliefs, and didn't hurt anyone other than some zombies.
Okay. So I'll go to.
Oh, and I guess I would add that there's maybe an empowerment after 2 years of stuck in this limbo and not feeling in control, to taking control. So I think that brings a sense of pride.
Okay. Sorry, Chris. What was your character's name again?
Sam.
Sam. Okay. Do you think Sam has lived up to the expectations of those close to them while preparing this ritual? So would others be proud of what you've done?
Or at least not disappointed.
I would think for Sam, they've have surrounded themselves with people that care about them, and kind of for them, it's just as long as they're happy and kind of hope for the best, you kind of live how you'd want to live your life. So, with that kind of logic, I would say Sam's thinking is that they're proud of how they kind of lived their life and kind of got to the point they wanted to be at.
I'm proud of
Okay.
you, Sam.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. Zoe, what was your character again? Sorry, who was your
Staff.
Staff. Have you fulfilled your political beliefs while preparing this ritual? That's a bit of a hard one.
Think so.
Think so? Okay.
Yeah, screw the system.
Hmm.
I'm taking my life into my own hands.
Mike, do you think Joe really wants to become a lich?
Ooh.
I'm gonna say for Joe, the answer is no. They don't want to become a lich, but it's the only way to get to that point of getting the health care that they need. So it's like a necessary evil. You have to make tough choices here. And while it's not necessarily what they want, it will get them something else that they want. And so they're willing to do it.
Okay. Now as you push past that and you feel the ritual progressing, I know a lot of you filled in your answers already to the last question with already talking about emotions and whatnot. So I'm gonna pose this question just to the group, I guess, and I'll see kind of what pops out. But what about the moment is exactly as you imagined, and what about it surprises you?
I'm gonna just parrot T's comment from earlier about that feeling of regaining control of for Joe, of regaining control of their own life, being able to um, take steps for themselves towards what they want.
For
Okay.
surprising me, I would say that it's actually happening. We did it.
I was thinking big ball of flame, but that actually too. That's a big surprise.
Been on a wait list a long time, and it's finally happening for me.
Okay. And then the last question is, what are you afraid will happen when you complete this ritual? What are you afraid will happen if you don't?
If I don't, I'm going back on that wait list.
Well, I'm afraid they're going to move the goalposts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, the liches automatically get shoved like an additional 500 to 600 places back?
Something like that. They come up with some other excuse to prevent us from getting healthcare, even after we wait
Yeah.
300 years.
Like some sort of technicality. It's like, oh, you haven't been a lich for long enough.
You need to reapply as a lich, or you need to reapply every 100 years or something. Or only the living are entitled to health care.
Oh, gosh.
That's what I'm afraid of.
What if we find out the wait list was fake the whole time?
Like a whole
That would be
conspiracy to it.
nasty.
There was no wait list. They just told us. It's like when they're like, you have a scam call, and you're like, oh, I took down your name and number. Don't worry, I'll have them call you back. And then no one's calling you back.
The wait list was the friends you made along the way.
Ah, there you go.
So after all of that happens, the ball of fire goes out, utterly decimates the it utterly destroys the festival. It leaves a smoking crater, you know, half a mile in radius all around. And the four of you do stand up, gripping your phylactery. Not gonna lie, looking much worse for wear, as liches tend to do. But you survived. Done what you set out to do.
Yes, we did it.
And there's more I feel like I could try and tease out of you guys, but I don't know if I really want to, because it feels good. I don't know. Does anybody have anything else that they wanna mention in this before we kind of step out of it?
Only
That was
300
the
more years on the wait
part.
list, guys.
Yeah.
I think maybe T does eventually buy the old temple, and maybe Sam subdues or domesticates the books, and we kind of wait out or continue pushing our anarchist agenda, trying to improve the system while we wait for our care.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well-
just publish a book being like Gardening the Lich Way.
See,
Cool.
anarchists can't really, or don't believe that they can really fix the system. It involves utterly destroying it and keeping systems pretty much non-existent, other than working towards the things that you actually need collectively. Keeping the power dynamic as flat as possible amongst everybody.
And healthcare is one of those things that we need collectively.
Ain't that the truth? Okay. Well, let's take a step out and debrief a little bit before we close off the stream. I don't know about you guys, but that felt intense.
Kind of did, yeah. Especially leading up, like kind of getting to the ritual itself.
Are you guys good? Does everybody feel
Yep.
okay after that?
Yeah.
Okay. I do want to note, and maybe this is more for just anybody potentially watching at some other point. As much as this was a satire and we had a lot of fun stepping through it, there are real people going through situations that aren't like this specifically, but certainly feel this monumental and archaic to work through. And it sucks that things aren't easier for that, or for them. Again, I know this game is based in the UK, and the NHS is its own bucket of worms to deal with. I like to think we have it a little bit better, a little bit easier in Canada, but obviously I'm not a trans person, so I cannot speak with experience on dealing with that. The only thing I can really comment on is the amount of barbarism that is going on towards trans people within the US currently, and that sucks. It sucks a lot. I do think this gives me a different perspective about it, even though it's ridiculous and satirical and fun. And I think that's why even after enjoying it as much, I kind of walk away from it feeling a little bit sad.
Yeah.
So, does anybody have any other comments?
It was
It's
lot
a
of fun to
serious
play.
topic. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to play, but it's a serious topic, and no matter how much satire and jokes you put into it, it's still always going to be a serious topic.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a real thing happening to real people.
Now, again, that being said, I had a lot of fun. I would absolutely play this again, because even though I walk away from it feeling sad, it's not a bad feeling.
Yeah.
It is a
Empathy,
yes,
Hopefully.
that's the best way to say it.
which is actually, I think, it speaks to the quality of the game.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
This was amazing. Especially like reading it when I was reading it for the first time and I got to the end, and particularly the questions before the ritual is, I think, the thing that really like hammers it home. And I think that is amazing. To force, because that's really where it forces the reality back into the ridiculousness all around it, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm not one to would have any expertise on the matter, but it does give, like, yeah, as mentioned before, like some kind of a good insight on the whole thing.
Yeah, I think it does. And Zoe, I think you're right. I'm gonna look up and put up a link to the author of this game is Laurie O'Connell. As the beginning part mentioned, they are trans themselves. They make a bunch of different interesting RPGs. They have one on the works of Hieronymus Bosch that I'm super interested in looking at too at some point. But definitely support her however you can. I bought this one through Exalted Funeral in the US. You can also get the PDF from Drive Through RPG. I'm trying to look up if she's got an itch that
Yes,
you
I believe so.
you can donate to. Just from this alone, she's an amazing creator. Please do whatever you can to support her. So let me just find that and I'll post it somewhere. So I don't know. Stall for me, guys, if you need to.
I was
yeah.
in reading the rules. I think I've said before on our streams, I really like the randomness. I rolled my character as well. I don't know if all of you did too, because well, I didn't feel like I had the insight to really build a character, so I let the author kind of do that for me. And B, I think it's more fun, but I mean the whole storyline and everything is random. We happen to fight a lot of zombies, and we happen to be anarchist gardeners, but that's there's a lot of flexibility to it, and it's there's a lot to laugh at along the way, and the replay value I think is there from that too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. This was great, gang. Thank you very much for coming with me on this. As soon as I picked it up, I realized we needed to play it because it's awesome. And yeah, for those of you who made it all the way through, which again I think is just Sam, thank you. We appreciate you. And I think I'm gonna call it off there unless anybody has any other comments for the moment.
We're gonna have to start getting people to sound off in the chat when they're here so that Cody doesn't think Sam's the only one watching our streams.
Just get a head count. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need some help so I
Um,
don't roll all those ones. So
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, I should also say before we get off, we are CCC RPGs on Twitter and Instagram, and we are Corporate Crash Course on Twitch and on YouTube. All of our streams end up on YouTube, and that's pretty much it from me and the group here. We are the Corptocracy at Corporate Crash Course, where the games are thematic and the rhetoric is bureaucratic. Have a good night, everybody.